All
course,
right,
you do
it's
think
actually
he
a good
does.
transition into our next topic. We are going to the NBA, but we have to talk about the other team in the Eastern Conference, the Miami Heats. There's been more. Oh, what's the words? Updates from the Jimmy Butler situation. So now he has been suspended indefinitely by the Miami Heat. This is coming off of suspensions of 3 games, suspensions of, I believe, 7 games as well. Um, and now, after a shoot around earlier this Monday, when the team said that they were going to start Haywood Highsmith over Jimmy Butler, he
I'm
decided to walk
sorry,
out, shoot
bruh.
around, and
I'm sorry.
Nah,
now he's
man.
suspended indefinitely.
I'm
I,
sorry, bruh. PC, bruh. Nigga, I would have done the
three.
same thing,
I
bruh.
Can
not
you,
I'm
I
not
would have
gonna lie.
did the
I don't
same
blame him, bro.
shit.
I
can
don't
you
blame
read
him.
that again, bro?
Bro,
Who
Eric
I
is
Jim
Spoelstra,
they
Eric
said
Spoelstra looked me dead in my eye and say, "Hey, brother, we need a Haywood Highsmith." Nigga, what? I took you to 2 finals. What the fuck?
Wait?
oh
You want to
brother.
know? You want to know something? Pat Riley made the
God,
call and told Spo, "Hey, Spo, go start Haywood Highsmith."
bro.
Yeah,
You know what
Pat
Pat
is.
Pat
the
Riley
sad
Pat
part?
Riley is a terrorist, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Or
This
he's a
man
T
Pat
word. I ain't gonna
Riley,
lie.
this man Pat Riley is moving around like Brian Vince McMahon right now, bro. I'm so serious. I mean, it's so it's undeniable at this point. Like he's been doing it in silence for years. He's gotten away with a lot of shit for years in Miami. He,
Indeed.
dubbed himself the Godfather, and well, the
Dino.
Godfather been making some nasty, nasty decisions, especially over this season.
He
Um,
he treats his players like shit. He
And
treated his
let's
great.
let's look at let's look at first of all though, Gianni, the man had Haywood Highsmith had 4 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds in 19 minutes. The game went to overtime. So that just tell you that they were doing that shit despite Jimmy. They didn't even everybody else, other starters had 43 and up minutes. Haywood Highsmith literally just started the game, and then once the game started to get tough, they're like, "All right, Haywood, like, just sit down, bro." Like that is crazy. They're doing this on purpose, bro. They're doing this on purpose. Nikola Jovic had 47 minutes off the bench. Yo, this is crazy, bro.
No, man.
Pat Riley, bro.
Pat Riley needs to go, man. I'm tired of all this, man. Like finding ways to suspend Jimmy just to, create trade leverage and stuff like that. The other day, you want to know what happened? It looked like the plane was delayed or something. You want to know something? The plane, nobody told Jimmy or some of the team members that the flight was going to be 5 hours in advance or something like that. So like I just don't understand what Pat Riley is trying to do. He's trying to find ways to spend Jimmy so they can create some trade leverage. So he won't play on the court. Honestly, after seeing this, man, Pat Riley needs to go, man. Like this all season, clean house. Send Pat Riley to the retirement home, man. Send him to the retirement home. I don't know, man. Far away from the U.S. possible. Send him to I don't even know, man. To Ecuador or Chile,
and
Nigga
then
said
man to Colombia,
Ecuador.
bro.
He said Ecuador, bro.
Ecuador is crazy. or you know where? Maybe Australia, man. So he doesn't have to go anywhere else, man. Like keep him there. Don't give him any flights or anything to come back.
I'm not gonna lie though. I'm not gonna lie. I know that Pat Riley about to turn 80. The dude is like still, you know what I'm saying, walking in with the crazy swag, all that stuff, man. And I know it's easy to hate on Pat, bro, but we gotta come to terms too. We want to defend the player. Jimmy has not handled this right at all, bro. This is like an absolute shit show from the very
Yeah.
How is he supposed
beginning.
to handle it though?
I mean, this is my thing though. I do think that when Pat made those comments, they were very, very bad timing and in bad taste. At the end of the day, Jimmy was showing competitive edge that your team was lacking. The Miami Heat were getting dog walked without Jimmy Butler. They literally looked like a totally different team. We want to talk about Bam Adebayo being your number one option. Good night. We want to talk about Tyler Hero back when that playoff series happened. Good night. That's not happening, bro. Like, so at the end of the day, I think that is one of the things that I feel like really turned Jimmy off and was like, okay, cool. But at the end of the day, when we look at Jimmy's history, Jimmy has done this every single place he has been. Every single place that Jimmy does not feel like he is treated as this top guy or this number one option, wherever he's at, or not catered to accordingly. Jimmy creates a fuss. He went and bust Cat's ass with the fourth and fifth stringers in Minnesota and literally he left from busting Cat and Wiggins' ass to doing an interview with Rachel Nichols about how he just bust Cat and Wiggins' ass and literally said, yeah, they don't want to win. They don't want to sign me. Okay, cool. We'll give you that. He forced his way out of Miami. I mean, not Miami. Forced his way out of Chicago because they weren't going to try to pay him what he thought he was worth. So he got out of there. Like, the only time that he is really not, I feel like that we really can't blame him for, acting a certain way after he left was Philly. Because Philly, honestly, I feel like they should have signed him. They should have got him. They should have ran it back. That's just my take. PC, I don't know how you feel about it anymore, but I feel like
All right.
obviously in hindsight, with Ben Simmons having the career he's having now, you obviously, could have benefited from having Jimmy there, having hell, even JJ, because JJ was put not on that $23 million contract that he had, but just on something smaller, bring it back, have that core, and you're probably competing for another, Eastern Conference kind of battle again, trying to maybe get that
Hold
Eastern
on.
Conference chip.
I have to stop you because what are we talking about here?
What?
Minnesota, he changed Cat life. Cat was on the trajectory to not be what he was now. Cat has went on record and
That's
said
not true.
Cat has went on record and said my mentality was not where it needed to be, and I would not be as talented as I am now if Jimmy Butler didn't bust my ass. Same with Andrew Wiggins. Them two would not be the same right now.
Man,
they didn't like it in hindsight.
Butler would not be Jimmy Butler. Okay, I get it, but that's beside the point.
On top of the fact that both the owner and coach was like, when Jimmy said this at first before he went and bust Cat and Wiggins' ass, the coach and the owner was like, "It's not my problem." We remember how bad Minnesota was before Jimmy.
We gotta find these clips because let me see these.
Now we go to Philly. No need to discuss Philly. Philly is Philly. Don't need to discuss that. We go to Miami. He went to Pat Riley at first and said, "Pat, we are not winning. We are ass right now. What can we do about it?" Pat was non-committal. Oh, okay, Jimmy, you know what we're gonna do. His father dies. Right after his father dies, Pat 180s and says, "We need you to shut the fuck up and dribble." Like I told Sean in the group chat, if I was Jimmy Butler, I would have smacked the shit out of him after he said that to me. Sorry, TK Mama, but that's how disrespectful that is after my father dies. And I don't take it to the media. I try and play basketball. And you automatically heel turn and say, "Shut up and dribble." What you want me to do after that?
Bro, at the end of the day, bro, we could say all that, but Jimmy has handled this horrible. Like, at the end of the day, he didn't. And in Timberwolves, bro, Cat was a number one overall pick for a reason. Andrew Wiggins' career did not take off in Minnesota like they thought it would, until he went to Golden State and linked up with the greatest shooter of all time to get not only an all-star, but an all-star starting bid and win a chip. He was damn near the third best player on a championship team. Like that didn't come until he left Jimmy. That didn't come until he left that toxic environment in Minnesota where they flipped D'Lo for Andrew, got him, went on the chip run. Cat is a cat, bro. Like, people was talking about him last year, not having that fight, not having that competitive edge, not having that drive. We saw this nigga go into Denver and play some of the best defense we've ever seen on Nikola Jokic. We saw this man then get chastised because his numbers were not going crazy like that in the playoffs when he was shooting. And that's when all the, hey, I shoot 500 times a day. Bro, shut up. But then you look. We were talking about, like, Jimmy having a direct effect on this man's career is cool, but at the end of the day, Jimmy did not handle the situation as a professional at all. At the end of the day, you can inspire people all day, all you want to, without having to demean the front office, without doing any of that. Because at the end of the day, you could come back. That Minnesota Timberwolves team could have done more than what they did if Jimmy wasn't so, oh yeah, I'm trying to bust everybody's ass in here and show I'm top dog. It's not about that. At the end of the day, it's about that all the time. It's about you literally showing up, getting to work and galvanizing your guys so you can lead them. Just like how Jimmy learned to lead the Miami Heat, who had YMCA workers and Kroger cart niggas pushing carts out there, and he led them to 2 chips. There is still a certain way that Jimmy should have handled this better. Now, do I think that Jimmy is 100% wrong? Hell no. I always will go at the owner. I'm going to look at Pat Riley for thinking that this is the 1980s again, and he can just demand that niggas do what he wants them to do. He was talking about having Shaq and niggas that are bigger than life on this heat program where you have to have this amount of body fat for your weight. We're not trying to hear that shit no more. These are professional athletes. Pay them accordingly. These aren't college guys. But at the end of the day, Jimmy has a obligation to his teammates to be there, to show up, and to not let every single thing that, oh, I'm just not feeling today. Fuck y'all. Like, he's literally said that to 3 different organizations. At some point, we have to start looking at Jimmy. We got to start looking at Jimmy because Pat Riley wasn't in Chicago. Pat Riley wasn't in Minnesota. Pat Riley is only place that Pat Riley has been is in Miami, and he's done this with Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade didn't see a legacy bag. Why the hell should Jimmy Butler see a legacy bag? Dwayne Wade
didn't D Wade leave because he didn't get a legacy bag?
And that's my point, though.
Yeah,
but you
D-Wade
can't expect that, though. But that's my thing. You can't expect to get something that the nigga who is the greatest Heat of all time, who is the most legendary Heat of all time, D-Wade, you're expecting something that this nigga didn't even offer somebody that he drafted. They drafted
That's on Pat
D-Wade.
Riley. That's not on Jimmy Butler. That's on Pat Riley.
Man, stop, man. That's not on Pat Riley that's not on Pat Riley for a nigga thinking that he is bigger than the fucking program.
No,
You see what's happened there. You see what's happened there for decades. He did it with
Pat Riley.
Shaq.
He thinks that for whatever reason, he can just get guys in and then don't pay him. D-Wade dragged the fucking Heat to the finals and then won them the finals. He dragged them there. Dragged them after getting a Shaq and a old ass fucking Alonzo Mourning.
When did Jimmy's last contract?
Jimmy's last contract, I think, was 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it says that he's a free agent in 2026. So that means he's fresh off a deal. So let me get this right. He got paid for them chip runs. He got paid twice because now he's getting paid 3 years, $146 million.
He got paid. Then what the fuck are we talking about here?
He got paid. This nigga's asking for renegotiation. That's the whole fucking point of this shit. And now that he's
asking for help.
Yeah, he asked for help, but he also was looking for a bigger bag. He asked for the max. That's what he asked. He's not getting the fucking max playing under like damn near 60 games a year and then putting up putrid regular season stats. And then all of a sudden, playoff Jimmy.
Look up how old Jimmy Butler is. I'm sorry. Look up how old Jimmy Butler is. How old is he?
I know how old he is. He's 35.
What the fuck are we talking about here, Jimmy?
That's why I say Jimmy is in the wrong, bro.
I thought he just wanted players. I thought he wanted help. Jimmy,
No.
I'm not giving you no max fucking bag at 35.
It's not. That's what I'm saying. It's not even just like, oh yeah, I need help. Like, bruh, for one, like you got Tyler Hero hitting his prime right now. You got Bam Adebayo, who is fresh off of a gold medal, who's fresh off of playing damn near good, dare I say, damn good basketball. Now, granted, I know he's not been the Bam Adebayo that we expect to take
Bam
the league.
has been disappointing.
Bam has not been, but Bam is not. But that's my thing. That's where Jimmy is supposed to fill in. Jimmy is supposed to be that extra guy that goes in and say, okay, let me get 22, 23 points a game. Bam, I know you're good for at least 20. Tyler Hero, I know you going off for 25. You got the other guys that are literally in there. What's your guy that was a rook for last year?
Kellen Ware.
No, okay, him too. Jaime Highcast or something.
Jaime Highcast.
Yeah. But that's my
He's
thing.
been bad this year too.
That's my thing, though. I think that for one, Jimmy is supposed to be the guy that was supposed to fill in the gap. Okay, so let me use this for example. If I were to take Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and I'm not saying Jimmy is Shai, but if I were to take Shai Gilgeous-Alexander off of the Thunder, these other guys would not be as great, in my opinion, as we know they can be with Shai, because Shai is the focal point. Shai is what opens up the game for everybody else. Shai is just that guy. If I have Shai off the court and I'm expecting these guys to still have this same mentality and have this same confidence, you're not gonna necessarily see that all the time. Jimmy, and when you saw Jaime play with Jimmy, and you saw these guys, they love to play with Jimmy because Jimmy has the dog. He plays with confidence. He opens the game up because you see all these guys are trying to stop. They're keying in on Jimmy Butler to stop him. But then you see, okay, wait a minute, Duncan Robinson getting damn near $80 million off of the fact that he can make open shots from the passes of Jimmy Butler when all the defense is converging on him. Like, this is how Duncan Robinson got a bag. Duncan Robinson should be working at a Dollar General right now. If it weren't for Jimmy, we gotta stop this, bro. Like, this is not. They don't play the same.
I just want to play.
Don't have this guy, bro.
I just want to play devil's advocate real quick. Because I agree with what you're saying, Mook. Jimmy trying to get a supermax when he's averaging 17 points right now.
Bro,
it just wasn't going to happen. It just wasn't going to happen. But I think this goes far beyond past Jimmy, wanting a max contract. I think this is Jimmy, in a weird way, trying to break a stigma about Heat culture. Because the Miami Heat, for the last 30 years, have seen all these stars come through the door. Dwayne Wade, LeBron James. They've had chances to get all these other great superstars.
Chris Bosh.
Kevin Durant.
Golly, bro.
Chris Bosh, they've had chances to get other superstars like Kevin Durant and Damian Lillard and Bradley
Beal now.
So it's goes back to what Pat Riley wants in this team. Like, if Pat Riley truly wanted the best of the Miami Heat, he would given Jimmy Butler the roster that he earned and deserved 2-3 years ago. Now we're at the back half of Jimmy's career and he's asking for his legacy contract, and he ain't gonna give it to him. In essence, because one, he hasn't deserved it, but also because you wasted too much time. Gianni said it a couple of weeks ago. Gianni already said it a couple of weeks ago. Like, the best acquisition that Jimmy has gotten to help bolster the roster is Patty Mills. Terry Rozier ain't making noise. At one point they were hyping up Omer Yurtseven for whatever fucking reason. They picked him off the recent YMCA facility. Like, this isn't like, this goes, I think, way far beyond past just Jimmy wanting a new contract, bro. Pat Riley needs to realize that what he's been doing over the last 20 years, yes, has won him championships, but the last title that they had, what was it, 2013? We're now past a decade, Pat. We're now past a decade. And it's in every sport that you play, it's not what have you done in the past. It's what have you done for me lately. And Pat Riley, over the last decade and a half, damn near, has done little to nothing to help his team win.
I'm
So
not gonna lie though, PC. Like, I definitely think that they need to make a move because look at 2021, 2022 season, they were number one seed in the East. The last damn near what, Gianni, 3 seasons, y'all have been the 8th seed,
Yeah,
and
it's
you've literally needed just you feel like one piece. Whether maybe you're waiting for Hero to hit that, peak what he's doing right now, entering his prime. You know, putting your marbles and betting on Terry Rozier in 2024 and 2025, man. Like, yeah,
but
that's why I don't put it on all Jimmy at all.
but
It's not on all
it,
Jimmy, but it's Pat for sure.
it's crazy that like now Tyler Hero is now hooping and playing well, and it feels like it's too late already because we needed this Tyler like 2 years ago. Like his playoff disappointments, like last year, you remember against Boston. I know Boston was like amazing last season, but then you were injured for the playoffs the year before. The year
Yeah.
before that, you dropped 0 points in Game 7 of the conference finals. Like like to me, all this started really. I feel like when the Damian Lillard thing fell apart, this all started. Like it started to fall because even Bam was not happy with Pat either. Like there was articles saying that Bam and Pat were not looking eye to eye, like during that season, during last season. So like it affected the team basically. Even affected Spo. Spo wanted Dame, and Pat said no. We're good with what we have. So like, is a disconnect. It's not just Jimmy, and it's like Spo, is Bam, and you see like Bam like this season, like Bam is not playing with the same energy. Like you don't see that usually from Bam, and then you see Spo like doing mistakes that he usually doesn't. Like it's far past Jimmy because even this season when Jimmy dropped 35, 19, and 10 versus the Pistons and we lost that game, Jimmy just checked out for because Jimmy did everything to win that game, and we just blew it, and that just to me was the final nail in the coffin.
mm, I mean, so big decisions to make in Miami when it pertains to Jimmy Butler.